And good morning. It is Friday. How in the world are you doing? It's cold. It's 32 as you're waking up. We should get to a high a little bit later today in the 50s. We'll give you all the details on the forecast coming up as we wait for the severe threat this weekend, Sunday afternoon. A bit of good news. We'll show you that of where this line is moving to the west and taking the threat down to a level 1 for the Meridian area for Sunday. Good news on that, isn't it? We'll go over all of that coming up in a few moments as we get this day started. Also, is there a chance of snow? We're going to go over that here in just a little bit as well. It would be nice to get a little bit, would it not? We'll see. Our chances 9th and 10th of January. We'll look at those chances coming up here in just a few moments. We do hope you've had a cup of coffee. If you haven't, I suggest highly going toward a cup. Greg's over there at the coffee pot looking at it.
Read the instructions.
Well, if you will flip the switch up, there's a button in the middle. Pop that handle back up, Greg. Push the middle button at the top till it turns blue. The very top button on the top up yonder. Now hit that middle button, and you'll get coffee. See how easy it is to fix coffee up in here? Directions from across the room.
Percolator.
Odie wasn't here to run that big monstrosity over there. We'll be right back. We go now as we head off to First Baptist. Let's get some good messages going here as we get a good word for the day.
Somebody once said, desire is an odd thing. As soon as it's sated, it transmutes. If we receive the golden thread, we desire the golden needle. In other words, we always want more. That's the truism communicated in today's word of wisdom found in Proverbs 27:20. Which says, Sheol and Abaddon are never satisfied, and never satisfied are the eyes of man. Now, you might not be familiar with the words Sheol and Abaddon, but they're the personification of death and destruction. In other words, death and destruction are never satisfied. They always wickedly want more, another body, another soul, another demolition. But the same is true for the eyes of mankind. We're wickedly never satisfied. We always want more. But Scripture commands us to be content with what we have. That means you must learn to be satisfied and to fight the sinful desire to always want more. And here are 3 of the best weapons in this battle. There's the weapon of prayer. Ask God to help you grow in contentment. You see, He's given you the Holy Spirit as a helper, and that helper can produce joy, peace, patience, self-control. All of these foster contentment with what you currently have. There's the weapon of gratitude. Truly be thankful with what you already have. God's already blessed you greatly. Be glad in that. Finally, there's the weapon of reality. You see, that next thing won't make you happy. It's lying to you. It's saying, if you just had me, you'd finally be happy. But when you finally attain it, you'll soon see that you were deceived. Get real about the next thing's inability to satisfy you. Beloved, you have the golden thread. You don't need the golden needle. May you be blessed by being satisfied. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. As we begin this Friday morning, it is Fun Friday. The gang will be here beginning at 7 o'clock. That girl, along with Greg and Odie, will be here. We certainly hope you will be too. 32 right now as we wait for a high of 59. Weather details on the way as we'll get into the who's, what's, and how's dealing with weather. I hope you're feeling well yourself there. So many of you are up. Billy, how are you? Diane joins us. John is up. Jerry. And I see Miss Becky there also. Get your birthdays in. You got Odie over there ready to take birthdays down this morning. We go to New York City for our first story that's shaping America this morning. To a deli. We had a U.S. postal worker delivering mail who never got to leave. She was stabbed. She lost her life. A woman has been arrested. She was 24 years old. Stabbed a working postal worker. That's going to be a high crime for that. We don't know why she did it, but it did happen. As we're getting ready for this, word ahead of this is, January 20th, we'll have the inauguration. If you've seen the pictures where they're building everything for the inauguration there in Washington, word is there's going to be a big rally in D.C. the night before. January 19th, there will be a huge one in D.C. Wait to see that. Let's see what else we've got. We have so many things have happened over the last few weeks, pardons and things that we probably don't agree with. People that were on death row that took others' lives, 37 of them were commuted. We have to say this is a good deal here. As Biden gets ready to leave office, he's awarded 7 Medal of Honors to U.S. Army as he is departing there. And this goes back to a lot of Vietnam vets that deserve, and the normal person, I promise you, has no idea what these people endured. Many of you have fought for our country, have been in the battlefields, and know what this is like. I've never been there, and many of you haven't. We pay respect to those who were there and, sacrificed for us. 7 guys getting that, and we're glad of that. We see that Trump is backing, and it's going to be by the hair of your chinny chin chin. Mike Johnson running for re-election as he seeks to keep Speaker of the House. It's a razor-thin lead. 2 is all they have. We have one person that's against him, and there's one at play. All of this could come into it. We'll see if it works out for Johnson. Mike Johnson's his name. Will he hold on to Speaker? We'll see. Trump has endorsed him and has urged others to vote for him. We'll see what becomes of this. All of that's coming up in a vote. Let's see what else is going on. As we see, Miami, an apartment complex there. 2 parents have been arrested, a mother and a father. As police arrived to the scene, neighbors complained of what was going on. They had no food and no electricity for 5 of their children. The parents have been taken into custody for neglect of these children. Things we don't understand. And I promise you, as you walk the streets of America, no matter where you're watching me from, whether it's in Mississippi, if you're in Alabama, or maybe you're further north of the Mason-Dixon line, somebody that you bump into, you have no idea what the worries are that they have. A child worried where they'll get food, a parent worried if they'll have enough money at the end of the week to provide. It's scary in America these days, is it not? We learn more and more about New Orleans. Have you watched the video of what happened when that truck takes that turn? The head of the police department said she had no idea that they had barriers that she could have used. They look like an L. They're yellow. They weigh about 700 pounds each, and they can be placed upon roadways where people cannot turn and go down them. They have them. They're installed now. A little late, but it is there now. Super Bowl is next in New Orleans, and we do hope precautionary measures are over the top as New Orleans waits for that. And we'll get into this a little bit later on. As y'all well know, we have 2 Mississippians that lost their lives in this. We have several people. I've seen UWA, a person who was injured there, Ole Miss student who was injured. We have numerous people that were hurt by this man that wanted to harm America, and he did. 15 lives lost. Sometimes it's hard to believe what you're told, and I'll leave it at that. The U.S. of A. government telling us that he 100% acted alone, and he was inspired by ISIS. That's the official statement. Bourbon Street has reopened this morning. It's a lot lighter crowds walking the streets of New Orleans there on Bourbon Street. Somber it is as people walk those streets through there. A plane crashed in California yesterday. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. Everything was so focused on what was going on in New Orleans that it didn't get a lot of light. But a plane crashed. 2 people have died and 18 injured in Southern California as a plane crashed into that. Is it me, or are we just hearing more about airplanes lately? They're private planes. They're not big planes for the most part there. I just, horrible. And, you may be right. As Greg made the comment, and y'all have heard of this. It's like someone who is a air traffic controller you don't want that person getting an easier test than someone else. It's kind of important. We saw so much over the last 4 years get watered down, so to speak, to where it's easier to get things. Here in the state of Mississippi, you no longer have to drive to get your driver's license. You just show up. I'm not sure I agree with that.
No, there ain't no more tests.
No, there isn't a test. But does anybody agree with that?
Really?
Yeah, you ain't got to take it. You know, we had to parallel park back in the day.
Yeah.
But now you... it's just... But there's been a lot of things that have happened. Decades ago, an ex-Florida deputy on his dying bed, he was 77 years old, he was passing away. He admitted to the killing of his wife. When it happened in 1977, he told police, and he was a deputy at the time, that she had committed suicide. It wasn't long after that, he was dating someone else that, well, had the same mishap. He admitted both on his deathbed. Forensics, again, were at that point in time back in 77 and 1980, not where they are today. A lot of testimony and things were done upon word. Nowadays, gun residue, evidence, shell casings, and of course DNA at scenes.
Well, you trusted a cop.
And you did trust cops back then. He was a dirty one, a bad guy. He was eventually fired. Some things happened. He lost his job in the 80s and never returned to law enforcement. What do we not know that happened in between then and his deathbed? Usually somebody like that does not just stop. Usually. Jill Biden. I've often wondered, people give gifts to you. She is the First Lady of the United States, and she did get a little something this year. She got something bigger than Joe that was gifted to her. She had a $20,000 diamond ring that was gifted to her. It was a 7.5 carat diamond given to her by the India Prime Minister. That's interesting there. She also got a $14,000, get this now, a $14,000 Ukrainian ambassador gave her a brooch from Ukraine. I mean, it's the least they could do for the billions that we've given that country.
$5.
Wait a minute. Biden got a little bit of something here. He got a photo album valued at $7,100.
In case of insurance.
In a case of insurance. Live studio audience, you never miss out, do you? Now, keep in mind with all of this, the gifts you don't keep, they're given to parks. I forget which one it's given to, but it's put in a storage thing where Americans can view it. You're not supposed to take these items. And if you do, I think you have to pay income tax on it if you were to keep it for yourself.
Well, they're going to take these.
We'll see where all that goes. They have to declare anything that they get from foreign leaders that cost over $480. That's the law on that. Interesting, isn't it? The funneling paid off. Oh, boy. We'll be right back. We're going to get into that weather forecast as we begin this day. So much to do today as we give thanks for where we are. Have you ever felt like you were told to say something? And I feel that this morning. I woke up at 1:45 on the dot. And Ellie looked at me, and she was staring at me, and it was almost like a word from God. And I feel like I'm supposed to say this, and so I'm going to say it. I had the overwhelming urge of someone that did not want to go to work today. I don't know why, that they felt that there were going to be pressure, somebody that was being mean to them. And my message to whoever you are is, God told me that it's going to be all right. Hang in there, don't give up. I don't know why that message was given to me, but it definitely came loud and clear to me. So I feel that I should not keep that to myself. Wherever you are, if you're having second thoughts, somebody's been bullying you, hang in there. God is on your side, and you will make it through this test. We'll be right back as we begin this day with weather. That's next. Let's face it, accidents are going to happen. If a deer jumps out in front of your car, go see my friends and professionals at Chet's Paint and Body Shop in Center Hill. Chet can help you navigate through this confusing world of insurance by providing photo estimates to insurance companies and the right to choose the body shop of your choice. From a minor scratch to a major collision, Chet has you covered. Chet offers quality repairs by trained and certified technicians with a lifetime warranty on all repairs. That's Chet's Paint and Body Shop.
This is going to be our biggest year-end clearance event ever here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia. Inventory is up and rates are finally down. We promise to save you thousands on any of our new inventory. From Siennas to Sequoias, Camrys to Corollas, Tundras, Tacomas, no matter the model, we will not be undersold. We want your business. With interest rates as low as 1.99%, top dollar value for your trade-in, and thousands off all of our inventory, Doc's Toyota is your clear choice for your next Toyota purchase. So come see us here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia, at docstoyota.com or on Facebook. And remember, there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
Welcome back. I'm glad you joined us here. Let's get into that forecast.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we go back for our record highs and record lows, 1982, anybody remember that date? It was 78 today. Back in 79, I remember it well, I was 10, and today it was 11. I can still remember that coat I had trying to make it to Northeast Lauderdale. It was chilly, y'all. As we look at our forecast, here's what is, well, in store for us today as we glance at this. Sunshine in 60 is forecasted today. Some areas will only make 59 as we go northward through Philadelphia. About 58. Scuba should be right at 59. As we start into that Noxubee County area, temperatures start to drop a little bit, and by the time you reach Columbus, Lowndes County, about 55. Down to Natchez, we'll see warmer weather over to Hattiesburg at around 62. Now, as we go east, we see that we'll have 58 in Tuscaloosa, 59 in Demopolis. Not bad weather, is it? And 55 in Birmingham. Now, let me do a switch here because at the last moment, the National Weather Service changed this, where we had a level 2 for the Meridian area. It has been downgraded now for Sunday afternoon. Now, keep in mind, all of this can still change because it's Mother Nature. But here's what we're showing for the National Weather Service as of now. We have a level 1, and this will go over to about Forest. Right along in there is the line that will be a level 2 west back to Jackson. From there east into Alabama will be a level 1. There is still a chance that tornadoes can't be ruled out. We'll have some severe weather, damaging wind gusts, and hail about a quarter of a size. Now, anything west of Scott County back toward Jackson, Vicksburg, Natchez, and through the Mississippi Delta could see tornadic activity, damaging wind gusts of up to 60 miles an hour, and hail up to a quarter size as well. That's it. From 1 p.m. to 9 p.m., that's going to be Sunday afternoon. And again, I remind you that we're still a couple days out. It could go further west or it could come back east. We're going to watch this and keep this up to you, let you know exactly what's going on with it as that severe weather enters our area. Here's what we're looking at on the forecast as we pull up what's going to happen over the next few days. Cold weather. Starting Monday, it's going to be very burrish. As we come across, here's our forecast of what we've got today: 59 to 60, 0% chance, 53 on Saturday for a high. Look at the low, 40. Not bad. As we get into Sunday, we start dipping below freezing that night at 31. Monday, it's on like Donkey Kong, as they say. We'll see 42 for a high only. Look at the difference in between Sunday and Monday. Almost 70 on Sunday and then 42 for a high on Monday. And we're going to stay in the 40s all week with 24. 22. Look at that. Now let's go on into this and what we've got. Friday, as we see a wintry mix rolls in, which will be around the 10th. That's our biggest chance. The 9th and 10th are our biggest chance of having any form of snow or wintry mix. North of us, January 4th through the 6th, which I'm putting at Tennessee and northward areas of there, they're going to see a pretty good chance of getting a lot of snow. Ours will roll in, again, somewhere around the 9th and 10th. And if you look at these temperatures, that is perfect for snow. I've always heard, and y'all have too, it can be too cold for snow. Yeah, that's true. 28 is almost that magic number. 28, 29.
Well, the people in Alaska don't know that.
Yeah, people in Alaska, you're right. They don't know that at all, do they? We'll watch this very closely. Look at the lows here as we hit 26 next Saturday. We got a week long of this, and then we'll start warming back up into the 30s. Now, as this system moves in, we're going to focus on this as soon as we get past this bad weather of what is coming. But again, all eyes, let's point toward Thursday or Friday of next week. A week from today is probably going to be the worst that we have during January that we're aware of at this point. Wintry mix, possible. Could it happen? Sure could. It may not. We'll let you all know about it. As we go to our fishing forecast, it's Mississippi. Best times to fish today, we'll see that the perfect time is this afternoon around 3:30 to 5:30. So 3:30 to dark is when it's a great time. We'll see that sunset rolls in at sunrise at 6:56, sunset at 5:02 this afternoon if you're headed to fish today. Now, let's talk about deer hunting. Anybody going today? The season is narrowing down. The 31st it ends. It's an average day to fish, to hunt. Light west, northwest wind becoming north around 5 to 10. That's not bad. Major times to hunt today. 1:30 this afternoon until about 3:30. Now, minor times 9 o'clock this morning till about 10. We got about a good hour there, and it's after dark after that. Sunrise 6:56, sunset 5:02 is what we got. It's an average day, but your best time is 1:30 to 3:30 this afternoon, and again a minor time for a midday hunt. 9 to 10 is supposed to be some of the best there. We got some pictures in last night of some people that had some good luck like that. Now let's go back to radar. Pull this up and show you what we have on radar this morning that we're showing across this. And again, let's look at this as I pull this up. Here's what we've got. This is that severe weather on Sunday that we're looking at. We were talking about it a moment ago. Right here at Forest, as you get past it at Morton, is going to be the level 2. Carthage, you're involved in this level 2 as we go northward to Kosciuszko, Winona, up to Duck Hill. All of y'all, Water Valley, are under a level 2. As we shave this straight down, and at Jackson, it starts going a little bit more west, taking in McGee and areas of that degree. Now, this will stretch a level 1 from Morton due east through Meridian over to York, Alabama, taking in Livingston, going up to Reform, Alabama, to Hamilton, those areas there, even down through Butler, Silas, Millery, Chatham, Alabama. Y'all are going to be in this level 1 on Sunday also. We'll watch this closely with Mother Nature. We're 2 days away from this, and storms with the least little inkling of a change of the temperature, the wind shift will move the storm either way. We could see it go further west, or it could come back east. We'll be on this to let you know exactly what it's doing. Let's turn this off and see what we have going on for the rest of the nation this morning. As you'll see here, state of Mississippi looks great. We got to go over near Fort Smith, southwest of there in Oklahoma, to see a little bit of fog this morning in those areas. West of Jonesboro more. A little wind in Asheville there in the Carolinas. As we look due north, look up here. Ooh, Evansville, I've been there. Louisville, Kentucky, where the horses are roaming this morning. Full-fledged zone as we look at this forecast as we get into these areas here. Right there, they have themselves a winter storm watch as these storms approach. Already getting snow in Charleston as we go into Cleveland, Ohio, Pittsburgh, those areas like that. Anywhere east of Nashville, let's be cautious on highways. As you get through Knoxville, those areas headed north, it could be bad and very dangerous. This is going to stretch back over all the way. Look at this past Topeka. Way over here to Pfeiffer, Kansas is where we're showing all of this. Washington, Maryland looking good, but they also have a winter weather advisory. And again, that's an advisory to where we got a storm over here, storm watch. Canton, Ohio, look at the snow coming down up there. And as we all know, Canton, Ohio, back in January of '53 is where Hank was headed to play that last show, in case you didn't know that. We're standing by. It's already 6:52. We're coming back live in just about, 4 or 5 minutes from now, we'll go live with the morning show. We're glad that you're here. And you're right, Jeannie, keep those pets safe and warm next week. Get your hay now. We'll go over all the necessities that you're going to need for next week. That's coming up at the top of the hour. Greg, you get your list together.
Bo Cephas has got his long johns laid out.
Bo Cephas has got his long johns laid out. We'll talk about all of that all the way here at the Scotty Ray Report.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.